Hey guys, good evening and thanks for joining. So in the morning class, what we discussed, so we have discussed about couple of other attacks or miscellaneous attacks, whatever it is pending or there from the, okay, so what already different categories of the attacks. So a couple of attacks are, example, we discussed about rainbow table attack. Then we discussed about what is the poodle attack, sweet 32, persistence, lateral movement. Okay, so these are all the different types of attacks we discussed. So we have another two more pending attacks are there. Those attacks are, one is golden ticket, second one is silver ticket. So if we're comparing in our practical day-to-day life also, gold has a more value as compared to silver. Why? Because gold cost is more as compared to silver cost. So meaning here, so if the attacker is attacking the golden ticket attack, he has more capabilities or abilities to do the respective compromise. But in case silver ticket, he has the less privilege or access to do the update or modification or delete and so on. So in the name itself, it is suggesting golden as well as silver. Okay. So golden ticket has a more abilities to do the deleting or updating or configuring, also modifying, and also more number of the access privilege as compared to silver ticket. Silver ticket contains the less number of the privilege. So when you are comparing the role-based access control, already we discussed, it's a part of privilege escalation. So for suppose admin access we can consider as a silver ticket, super admin access we can consider as a golden ticket. Super admin meaning here, he has the entire access to, so either server or database or application. In case if it is application, he can delete or he can modify or he can configure, he can upload or he can download. So total end-to-end configuration, he can do it. If it is server, same thing is applicable. If it's a Windows, so it's admin. If it is a Unix operating system, we can call it as a either sudo or root. Most of the case, it's a root. So root is equivalent to super admin. So if the root level of the access we have, so as a part of rootkit attack already we discussed. So he can do the registry keys information changing, partitions, and also updating, deleting, or modifying the files. Even he can add also. Okay. So golden ticket has a more privilege or access as compared to silver privilege. Discuss about platinum ticket in the Active Directory attack point of view. In case maybe platinum attack also there, platinum attack also there. That means as compared to golden, so platinum ticket has a more capabilities. But right now we don't have any classification related to platinum. Only we have two different types of attacks related to Active Directory. One is golden ticket, second one is silver ticket. So here attacker what he will do. So attacker will compromise the system account, nothing but service account or maybe system account. So then he will use one of the process name is called or account name is called KRBTGT. KRBTGT, Kerberos Active Directory Authentication Granting System. So he will use KRBTGT system from that particular compromised system. So he will get the authentication from that particular system. Then he will grant on behalf of the Active Directory. So that is called golden ticket. So I'm repeating once again. So golden tickets meaning here, attacker will compromise the, so Active Directory. Okay, so he can gains the control over Active Directory. So especially one of the process or account name is called KRBTGT. So KRBTGT meaning here, key distribution service account. Key distribution service account, KRBTGT, Kerberos. So distribution service account. So once he will gain the KRBTGT related authentication mechanism using Kerberos, instead of the Active Directory, he can give the access to the other systems. So ticket granting system, ticket granting server, and so on, I told you. So instead of the Active Directory authentication mechanism, on behalf of the Active Directory, he can give the access. Directly, already he compromised the Active Directory system. So on behalf of that one, he can give the response back when the user is authenticating or authorizing the respective Windows, or maybe even it is applicable to Mac also. So how we can define this one now? So this is, it is an, in this one acted in this adversary or attacker gains control over Active Directory, distribution service account, and uses to give the access to other user accounts. So as I said, so Active Directory is a directory of the service. It can provide the all the user accounts, systems accounts, computer accounts, and so on. So on top of the Active Directory, we have domain controller as a service. It will run this service. So it will provide authentication authorization server. So coming back to in this one, so he will compromise the system account or maybe so Active Directory system. So once he will compromise the Active Directory, so what will happen? So on behalf of the Active Directory, already he compromised the respective Active Directory system. Whenever user is accessing the Active Directory, so instead of Active Directory response, so attacker will respond back. It is like one type of spoofing category of the attack. Okay, impersonating of the original user or on behalf of the original user, attacker will send the request and he will gain the response. That is called spoofing category of the attack. Same thing is applicable to here also. So once the attacker is compromising the Active Directory, so mainly for KRBT's GT service. So what is my KRBT service? Active Directory Distribution Service Account. It's one of the service account basically. So this service account, what exactly it will do in the Active Directory? It will provide the ticket granting tickets to the other systems. So it is a Kerberos mutual authentication mechanism. Okay. So I will draw one of the diagram so that you will understand easily. So example, this is the user machine. So this is the Active Directory machine. So on top of this Active Directory, one of the account name is service account name is called KRBTGT, key distribution, Kerberos key distribution. So service account. So this service account basically, when the user is providing the credentials, we have discussed one of the attack is called Mimikatz. What is Mimikatz? So Mimikatz is a software. So it can compromise the user credentials or credential stealing, especially for Windows operating system. Even this particular golden ticket can use Mimikatz also, especially for Windows operating system. Okay. So now when the user is providing the credentials here, so nothing but username and password. So first it will go to the request to the Active Directory. So one of the service account is called KRBTGT. It is an Active Directory distribution service account. Okay. So this one will provide the ticket granting ticket or ticket granting key. So TGT or TGK, ticket granting system, ticket granting ticket or ticket granting key. So now, so once user is accessing the Active Directory, this service account will provide the ticket granting ticket or ticket granting key. That keys he has to use. So that key will go to the user. Okay. Whatever Active Directory KRBT service account is provided key, that key will go to the user. In between the user and also Active Directory, using Kerberos protocol, mutual authentication mechanism will happen. But now what is the attacker is trying to do? So in the Active Directory server, KRBT service account is getting compromised. Now, when the user is providing the username and password, so it will go to the Active Directory. Already KRBT GT service account is got compromised. On behalf of the Active Directory of KRBT service account, attacker will provide the key. Okay, Attacker will provide the key to the user. So then whatever attacker is provide the key to the user will use those keys, then he will try to access directly. So it is a mutual authentication in between the user and also attacker. Keys will be exchanged. Then finally, so he will use some of the remote code execution or maybe command and control related activity. Then finally, he will get compromised to this particular user machine as well. So that is called golden ticket. Okay. So that is called golden ticket. If we want to mitigate this type of attack, then what we have to do? Okay. So KRBTGT is a service of Active Directory. It's a service account basically. So in the golden ticket attack, attacker will compromise the, so on top of the Active Directory, KRBTGT service account, when the user is providing the request to the Active Directory on behalf of the Active Directory, so attacker can provide the ticket granting ticket or ticketing granting key to the user in between the user and also the respective attacker. So keys are will be exchanged, and whatever so confidential data attacker is trying to access, so it is already got compromised, then attacker can gain the unauthorized access or sensitive data exposure. So this type of attack we can call it as a golden ticket. Okay, then how we can mitigate these type of, as I said, even attacker can use, so how he will compromise the Active Directory? So maybe he will use malware in the user machine or maybe Active Directory machine. Maybe he will use a mimikatz. So mimikatz is a credentials key stealing or credential scrubbing related mechanism. Okay, so those things normally attacker will use to compromise the respective systems. Okay, then how we can mitigate these type of Active Directory related golden ticket attack? Okay, mitigation steps are preventive mechanism. So I'll go back to this one. So on behalf of Active Directory KRBTGT service account, attacker will provide the TGT keys to ticket granting keys to end user system in such a way attacker machine will get compromised. And sensitive data should be exposed. So as I said, golden ticket has a high privilege as compared to silver. I will provide those differences as well. So I will provide from here, this is second point. Give me 1 second. Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. 1 second. So apologies, guys. Actually, so some issue was there. So to mitigate this golden ticket category of the attacks, what we have to use? So we have to use strong password policies because service account is getting compromised related to KRBTGT. So KRBTGT, as I said, Active Directory key distribution account. It is one of the service account. Attacker can get compromised of the KRBTGT service account. So on behalf of the KRBTGT service account, attacker can use a spoofed based ticket granting system or ticket granting T. All these are part of Kerberos mutual authentication mechanism. If you want to mitigate this one, prevention of golden ticket. See, Active Directory, as I said, it's one of the critical server to the organization level. So always this Active Directory we have to keep in our server LAN. So as per network architecture diagram, so we have seen already. So we have to put this Active Directory, domain controller, so database servers, finance server, file server, application server, web servers, all those servers we have to put in the so critical server LAN. So whatever non-critical servers are there, those servers we have to put in the DMZ or DMZ zone. This is already we discussed as a part of network architecture diagram. Hope you remember. So even Active Directory is one of the critical server to the organization level. If once the Active Directory is getting compromised, so multiple systems and servers or computers will get compromised. That's why it is so critical to the organization level as compared to other attacks. So very popular attacks, example WARM. WARM is getting compromised through networking protocols. One system is getting compromised through self-replication using, not self-replication, using replication through network. It will compromise other systems also. That is one of the dangerous attack. And also we have seen morning DDoS attack. That is also one of the dangerous attack. So next one is golden ticket. Why? Because one more thing, lateral movement also. If one system is getting compromised, not only infecting one system, because of the lateral movement through networking protocol, self-replication through networking, multiple systems are getting compromised. So that's why, so these attacks are very, very important. Okay, so how we can prevent the golden ticket? As I said, we have to use the strong password policies. For where we have to use the strong password policies, we have to use the strong password policies for Active Directory. Okay, so second implementation is the role-based access control. Okay, so you know what is mean by strong password policies. As I said earlier, also for brute force category of the attack, password spray category of the attack, and also dictionary category of the attacks, and VPN authentication failure category of the attacks. So when I say strong password policies, so minimum password length should be 12 to 16 characters, and also it should be has uppercase, lowercase, and also character and number, and also we have to use the so multi-factor authentication mechanism, and 90 days once, nothing but 3 months once we have to change the password, account lockout policies. So if the attacker or internal user is trying to do more than 3 times or 5 times threshold, automatically account should be locked out. So these are the couple of parameters we have to implement. In this similar way, we have to implement role-based access control also. For everybody, we should not provide the Active Directory related access. In the Active Directory server, basically it is one type Windows server. As I said earlier, every Windows server or Linux server has a couple of accounts. What are those account names? One is admin account or root account. Second one is service account. So third one is user account. Fourth one is schedule task or schedule. So updates related part. Okay. So these are all the different types of accounts normally we will create for any server. Okay. So when you say role-based access control in the Active Directory, what privilege or access is required to respective Active Directory, whoever is using, for those people, he have to provide the role-based access control. So when the user is requesting, or when the DevOps team is requesting, when the Linux team is requesting, when the middleware team is requesting, and the machine learning or artificial intelligence or DevOps team is requesting, so what is the role exactly in the Active Directory related to that particular process? According to that one, we have to provide the role-based access control. So this is very, very important. And also third access is privileged access. So privilege access meaning here, so what level of the privilege he has to provide. So whether he should have the read access or write access, read write access, and so on. Next one, we have to implement multi-factor authentication mechanism. So multi-factor authentication, it's more than one way of authentication. Example, OTPs, or maybe CAPTCHA, or maybe okay, security questions. All those will fall under the multi-factor authentication. More than two-way of authentication mechanism, we can call it as a multi-factor authentication mechanism. Okay. So and also main very, very important when the so golden ticket is getting compromised, KRBTGT account password should be reset. It's very, very important. Once the golden ticket, once the golden ticket attack has come to our organization level, after compromising the Active Directory, first and foremost, what is the very, very important thing we have to do? So resetting of the KRBTGT account. So otherwise, what will happen using KRBTGT service account, attacker will use those KRBTGT accounts. So instead of the Active Directory, so on behalf of the Active Directory, he is providing the ticket granting ticket or ticket granting key to the respective end user. Once you are resetting the passwords immediately, then attacker doesn't have the password, though then we can containment, or we can do the network isolation, or we can reduce the attack vector or attack surface. Okay, so main thing is care BTG related password or related service account password we have to reset. This is very, very important as compared to all other. Okay, so in such a way, fake credentials also, default credentials also we should not use, especially for Active Directory. Default credentials or fake credentials we should not use. So that is about overall golden ticket. It's one of the very, very important attack. Why? Because it is not only one system is getting compromised. Because of the golden ticket attack, multiple systems or servers or computers are getting compromised. If we want to mitigate this one, we have to implement all these different types of mitigation or preventive mechanisms. So as I said, first and foremost, we have to implement resetting of the KRBTG related service account password. So whatever attacker changed the password, we have to reset that one. We have to create a new password. That is by resetting of the password. Then we have to use the so strong password policies, account lockout policies, role-based access control, privilege access, whatever it is required for the segregation of duties point of view, multi-factor authentication mechanism, default passwords we have to change. If we are implementing this particular, okay, so configurations, we can reduce the golden ticket attack vector as well as attack surface. So that's all about golden ticket. So next attack is silver ticket.
Sir, in the second point, you have written
Ticket granting ticket or ticket granting key. Yes, right.
I mean, in such a way, attacker machine will get compromised, sir.
Attacker machine. Sorry, could you please repeat?
You have written like, I mean, in such a way, attacker machine will get compromised.
Not attacker machine. Sorry, our systems, organizational systems will get compromised. If I'm, give me 1 second. On behalf of the Active Directory, KRBT service account, attacker will, on behalf of the Active Directory KRBT service accounts, attacker will provide the TGT keys to the end user system. 1 second, because I'm typing very fast. In such a way, attacker machine, not attacker machine, guys. Sorry. So these organization computers are machines. Good point. Thank you so much. Is it fine now?
Yes, sir, it's
Okay. Yeah, good point. Thanks for catching that one. So yeah, if KRBT GT service account is getting compromised, on behalf of the Active Directory, attacker will send the request. Then, so end user systems will, they are trying to authenticate the Active Directory, but already key is provided by the attacker. So then our systems will get compromised. So that is called golden ticket. So for golden ticket, as I said, admin access is very, very important. So because it is a part of service account. So as compared to Active Direct, I mean, as compared to the uh, golden ticket service, I mean, silver account has a less privilege. So now we can discuss about silver account. So what is mean by silver account? This is also applicable to Active Directory once again. So in this one, what attacker will do? So attacker will involve the compromised credentials. So meaning here, example, take this one already. So Active Directory service account is got compromised and KRBT service account is got compromised. So then once the user is sending the request to the Active Directory, KRBT GT service account or service account will provide the TGT or TGK. Then once it is provided to user, so user credentials, it will reach to the KRBT GT service account and this system also will get compromised. So now silver account will come into picture. Now silver account will come into picture. What is meant by silver account? Already user account, whatever our system or maybe computer or laptop or MacBook or workstation or desktop, it is got compromised. Nothing but this one. It's got compromised. Using that compromised credentials and also abusing the design of the Kerberos protocol. Okay. So once the system is getting compromised, so attacker will use these credentials to hack other systems also, and also Kerberos protocols as well. So that is called silver ticket. Indirectly, silver ticket is depending on the golden ticket. Always silver ticket is depending on the golden ticket. Okay. So how we can define this one now? Silver ticket involves compromising credentials. Sorry. Compromised credentials and abusing the design of Kerberos protocol. So why we are saying always Kerberos protocol? So Kerberos protocol is a mutual authentication mechanism. When you say mutual authentication mechanism, so if you are providing the normal without using the so ticket granting key or ticket granting system. Okay, so example consider we don't have TGT or TGK, and user is providing credentials like username and password, and Active Directory NTLM authentication or SAML authentication mechanism. So these are all the two different types of authentication mechanisms. Normally, it will be used. So if you are using those mechanisms, mutual authentication will not happen. Mutual authentication will not happen using the SAML, SAML, or maybe NTLM authentication mechanism. But if you are in Kerberos, mutual authentication as compared to single authentication mechanism, always mutual authentication mechanism is good from the hacker point of view. Now, attacker itself, it is getting compromised by Active Directory. So now how mutual authentication mechanism is possible? So Kerberos can be used the mutual authentication mechanism basically. So once the user is providing the credentials, so Active Directory has the KRBT related service account, nothing but Active Directory key distribution service account. That one, it can provide the one of the key or password to the user. User will use those public key and it will send back and it will authenticate. Now it is happening mutual authentication using key. In future, we can discuss about once again SSL TLS mutual authentication. That is also called as MTLS authentication mechanism. Mutual TLS authentication mechanism. There I will explain about a clear-cut idea of how the mutual authentication will happen. Right? So here Kerberos design protocol itself is getting the compromised using silver account. So silver account will use the golden ticket account, and also Kerberos protocol design also it is getting compromised. Meaning here mutual authentication is getting compromised in between user and the server or client and server. Okay. It will use golden ticket account. Along with that golden ticket account, already compromised credentials can be used by the hacker. Then he can use the design of the Kerberos authentication mechanism. And on behalf of the Kerberos authentication mechanism, KRBTGT service will provide the keys to the respective end user. So in such a way, he will compromise everything. Okay. Now difference between silver attack and also golden attack. What is the difference between these two? So as I said, only design related issues will come under the, one second, sorry. So if the golden tickets attack will come, he has the entire access to control everything. But if silver account will come, only it will come to the TGT based design. because it's a part of Kerberos. That is the main difference. Okay. Now, how we can mitigate this one? Same steps it is applicable to even silver ticket also. So as I said, if it is entire service based or server based attack is called as, okay, so golden ticket. If it is one of the service or maybe design or protocol, it will come as a part of our the golden ticket. That one is called a silver ticket. So what is the conclusion I can say? Silver ticket is a subset of golden ticket. So we discussed about morning also ping flood attack, TCP flood attack, ICMP flood attack, okay, ping of death attack, MAC flood attack, UDP flood attack. So all these attacks are a part of DOS and DDoS attacks, right? In the same way, silver ticket is a subset of golden ticket. So, but both the attacks will fall under active directory compromise. One of the active directory compromise related to KTBT, KRBT, GT service account. Silver ticket, it's getting compromised by the respective credentials of the end users. That is the main difference. Okay. So silver ticket can be used, golden ticket, and it will compromise the so end user systems related username and passwords as well. So that is the main difference. So that's all about overall attacks related to network and cyber attacks. So whatever attacks we discussed so far, example, malware category of the attacks, phishing email category, flooding category, spoofing category, and also miscellaneous or other attacks. All these attacks are very, 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 very important. These attacks only in SIM tool, okay, we can do the instant investigation or forensic analysis. Okay, so that's all about network and cyber attacks. Only one topic is pending in the network and cyber attack side. That is a part of OASP top 10. So OASP top 10 category of the attacks, I will discuss in the application security. Why? Because I have to provide the what is SDLC life cycle, what is meant by cryptography, what is meant by symmetric cryptography, and what is meant by asymmetric cryptography, and so on. If you'll understand those topics, then only you will understand OASP top 10. That's why I'm not covering right now in the network and cyber attacks. Those attacks I'll cover. It's a part of application security category of the attacks. Hope it's clear. Okay, for tomorrow interview, whatever I am taking mock interviews, so far I think 10 to 15 people only responded. Okay, so tomorrow in between 11 to 1 o'clock, so we will take the mock interviews. So I think Ganesh already shared link to respective candidates who already provided the name as well as the Gmail address. Is it correct or not? Did you get the any invitation link? Hello,
Actually, we have
Yes,
provided.
sir.
you got the invitation link for the tomorrow interview, right? Mock interviews, sorry.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's perfect. So tomorrow, as I said, so I will take the class from either 7:30 to or 8. I will start the class. So 8 to 10 o'clock, I will take the class because tomorrow is a weekend for me. And also you can take the breakfast in between 7:30 to 8. Okay, so you can complete the breakfast. Maybe tomorrow I will take 8 o'clock class. So 8 to 10 o'clock, I will take the class. So I will give 1 hour break. So 11 to 1, I will take the interview. Okay, once again, evening also class will be there. I will let you know. So evening class will be there around maybe 7 to 8 or maybe 6:30 to 7:30. So that is the overall. Now coming back, next topic as per our cybersecurity course. Okay, so you can see our cybersecurity course or syllabus. So far we completed. So we completed basic of networking, LAN, WAN, MAN, couple of other definitions. That is also we completed. Voice layers we completed. TCP IP layer also we completed 4 layers. IP address and also classification of the IP address we completed. Static IP and dynamic IP, DHCP, DORA process we completed. DNS server we completed. TCP flags we completed. And also couple of other servers we discussed. Network architecture diagram we completed. And also router switches, all these TCP three-way handshake, difference between router and switches, and also differences between TCP and UDP we completed. Network and cyber attacks. So networking concepts are completed. Out of all this course or content of the syllabus, very important topic is network attacks or cyber attacks. From past 4 or 5 days, whatever we are discussing, these attacks are very important. These attacks only in the SIM tool, we will do the instant investigation or forensic analysis. So as per the course or content syllabus, what is next topic in our course content? Endpoint security or endpoint protection. So morning already I provided. So how every company will get the projects. So I given couple of examples also. TCS, Infosys, Wipro. Every organization has sales team, pre-sales team, design or architecture team, implementation team. Implementation team is nothing but here it contains several teams: application development team, product development team, DevOps team, testing tools team, machine learning team, data science team, even DevSecOps team also will be involved. Finally, operational support. Okay. So if the application we are hosting in the cloud also is a part of our SDLC lifecycle, or maybe this is a project submission part. So normally, whenever any client request or project requirement is there, clients will approach all these MNC companies. When I say MNC, multinational companies. So they will approach and they will do the proof of concept with the help of pre-sales team, and they will release the tender or request for proposal or request for proposal of information. Once everybody is bidding the respective tender or project, finally they will give award to the one particular consulting company or service-based company. So example, TCS, Infosys, Wipro, Capgemini, Accenture, Mindtree, Emphasis, all these. So in such we are getting the projects. Now we are a part of this role, but in future you can target for these vacancies as well. Once your experience will increase. So now coming back, I will start with endpoint security now. So now onwards, it is very important. Sorry to say this one, guys. Today I met one of the person in some X place for endpoint security itself. So whoever is providing the training, that guy is charging 20,000. So, but in my cybersecurity training, I'm not only providing the cybersecurity SOC operations, I'm providing the endpoint security, I'm providing the vulnerability assessment or management, I'm providing network security, I'm providing information security, I'm providing the cloud basics as well. So many technologies I'm covering. Please try to understand. Every institute is a business. Everybody wants business. Everybody wants money. If you are going on outside, if you will go outside, you can go and you can roam anywhere, Hyderabad or Bangalore or Chennai and so on. Then you'll come to know what is the importance of cyber security and how much in-depth analysis I'm giving. I'm not saying I'm a great person here, but institutes are how much business oriented they are working on, how much commercial they are working on. So in my course content, I'm not only just covering operational support, I'm covering in-depth analysis like whatever experience I have. I'm covering design, I'm covering implementation, even I'm covering operational support also. Whatever experience I have, everything I'm covering. Okay. Think about these things as well. Okay. So now coming back. So next topic in our cybersecurity course, endpoint security. So endpoint security also called as endpoint protection. So a couple of people, they will ask what is EPP? So EPP full form is endpoint protection. Don't confuse here. Nothing but indirectly they're expecting what is meant by endpoint security. Okay. So when you say endpoint, first of all, what is meant by endpoint? So endpoint is nothing but end user machine. So think your organization. Think like an organization. So in the organization, what is the endpoint? Who is the endpoint? Obviously, employee is the endpoint. Employee is the endpoint. Whatever employee is using a machine, that is called endpoint or end user machine. are also called a host machine. Okay, so now how we can define this endpoint? So endpoint is nothing but end user machine or host machine or employee machine. So that is called endpoint. So obviously in the organization, so what endpoint, employee he will use? So either he will use laptop or MacBook or workstation or desktop. Okay, these we will call it endpoint. Examples of endpoints. So laptop, MacBook, workstation, desktop, and even servers also I will include as a endpoints. Additionally, couple of companies, they will give even mobile also. Not your personal mobile. I'm not speaking about your bring your own identity or bring your own device. Bring your own device is a concept is called so cloud-based solution basically. Bring your own device. Every person or every employee in the organization level. So when he is going to office, they will carry obviously mobiles, or maybe they will carry laptop, personal laptop, not professional laptop. Even they will carry couple of times even tabs as well. Okay, I'm not speaking about bring your own devices. I'm speaking about mobiles, company provided mobiles also. So example, Microsoft and also couple of Apple, then Google, Amazon. These companies will provide mobiles also. In my ex company also, they are provided. Okay, so example, iPhone. Okay, so that is company based mobile. For those company based mobiles also, we have to keep safe and secure. That's why I'm I'm giving even company provided mobile also endpoint. So these machines we'll call it as endpoints. Whatever security controls or security solutions we are providing to these endpoints, we will call it as endpoint protection or endpoint security solution. So how we can define this one now? Endpoint protection or endpoint security. So whatever solutions are security controls we are providing to endpoints called as endpoint security or endpoint protection. So this is also called as EPP. Why I'm saying EPP? So one of the student is attended the interview. So in the interview, so they asked about EPP. So she is a director. She is not aware of the what is meant by cyber security. So she knows about only business point of view. She came to the interview. Okay. And so I think it's a Brillius or something, HSR layout Bangalore. So in that director level of the interview, okay, so whatever she asked, the question name is, what is meant by EPP? Because she doesn't aware of what is meant by EPP. So she took some of the interview questions from the Google. Then she is asking about what is EPP. If really that person is related to technical, then she or he used to mention endpoint protection or endpoint security because she copied from the Google and she was asking like what is meant by EPP. Then respect to candidate, he's aware of. So could you please repeat what you mean by EPP or full form? So we can ask back the questions to the interviewer as well. If you don't understand something, that's what even if you're going for Google interview or Microsoft interview or Apple interview, they will say this one only. Ask back to the interviewer. First understand the requirement. Then only you can give the answer. Without the understand the requirement, how you are providing the solution? Without knowing the problem, how you can provide the solution? If you are going for Google interview, so after screen round is completed, so next they will take the formal round of the interview. To attend the technical round of the interviews, 3 or 4. So they will give the formal round of the interview, how to attend the next 3 technical rounds of the interview. In that formal round of the interview, they will ask. So if you don't know something, ask back to the interviewer. First, understand the requirement, understand the problem, then you can provide the solution. Without understand the requirement, how can you provide the solution? So that's what they will say. That's what I mean to say here. If something you don't understand from the interview point of view, you can ask back. There is nothing wrong. So it's completely based on how much dare and courage you are. Okay. It's not about how much, okay, so whether you are speaking fluently English or not, doesn't matter. Okay. So what is matter here? So whether you have guts to ask back, whether you have dare to courage, I mean, whether you have dare or courage, ask back something. Okay. So why I'm saying this one? Because one of the interviewer, that guy did not answer. That guy did not answer this particular, what is my EPP? Then he came back to me, sir, what is my EPP? Then I, okay, provided the what is my EPP? EPP is nothing but endpoint protection. He's not aware of that one because I given everything in the class. So I provide endpoint security, alternative name is endpoint protection. But he remember only endpoint security, but he did not remember endpoint protection. Okay. So whatever security solutions we are implementing to these endpoints, we can call it as endpoint security or endpoint protection. So what are the endpoint security solutions we have? So endpoint security solutions. First one is antivirus or EDR. Second one is data loss or data leak prevention. Third one is HADS, HAPS. Fourth one is file integrity monitoring. Okay. Last but not least, encryption. So these are all solutions we will implement in the endpoint level. So all these things we discussed several times. In the demo class we discussed, in the course content or syllabus we discussed, and also in the definitions or acronyms we discussed. So right now once again, and also network architecture diagram we discussed. This is sixth time we are discussing what is meant by endpoint security solutions. Still tomorrow in the interview, if I will ask what is examples of endpoint security solutions, couple of people will not give the answers. Okay. Practice, 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 practice. That's all. Okay. So coming back now, for every solution, whatever we are going to discuss now onwards, because all these are tool based. As I said, so security, most of the cases, it will work based on the tools. Every security tool will work on simple funda. That funda is, so we have to configure the policies or rules. And also we have the backend detection methods are there. According to these policies, detection methods, either it will block or allow or bypass or compromise or maybe reset. This is what happened. That is nothing but cybersecurity, guys. Very simple way. Everywhere monitoring tool, monitoring tool, monitoring tool. Okay. So every security tool concept, as I said, policies or rules we have to configure. That may be, take example firewall, we'll configure the policies. Antivirus tool will configure the policies. DLP tool will configure the policies or rules. Proxy will configure the policies or rules. Okay. NADS, NAPS tools, we can configure the policies or rules, and so on. So once we are configuring the policies, every vendor has their own detection methods. So detection method means whenever any attack or hacking or incident is happening, how the detection will happen. Either signature based, machine learning capability, baseline method, or heuristic approach, or hash value methods, and so on. So that is about the simple funda for security, guys. Only console is different. Console, don't worry about the tools. Tools are very simple. Please understand the backend concept. That is very, very important. In the interview also, nobody will ask which tool you worked on, but they will expect what is the backend process. Okay. Now, all these tools, not only endpoint security, not only network security, not only cloud security, not only application security, each and every tool, whatever we are discussing, I'll provide the licensing option. I'll provide the designing or implementation or deployment, and I'll provide the implementation. Then also I'll provide the operational support. Okay. These are all things not required. In future, maybe you will become architect, or in future you'll become implementation guy. That time you should be aware of everything. Okay, so let's go and start antivirus or EDR. So that is the first solution. So full form is antivirus, EDR, endpoint detection and response. So antivirus is a traditional antivirus. This EDR concept also came just only 3 years back. That's all. This EDR concept doesn't have 3 years back or 4 years back. Okay. Prior to Corona, only this EDR concept has come. So in 2015 or 16 or 17 or 18, there is no EDR concept at all. Only everywhere antivirus, 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 antivirus. Okay. So this EDR, NDR, MDR, XDR, all these concepts came recently only in the market. Okay. So what is the difference between antivirus and EDR? We can go and we can see later. So first of all, we can go and we can discuss about licensing option. Example, if you want to explain about practical way, so how this antivirus we have to implement, take SBI Bank, Mumbai. So SBI Bank, maybe they have all over the worldwide or across the globe or across the universe. So they have so many branches are there. So maybe I'm taking example of endpoints, maybe laptop or MacBook or workstation or desktop and so on. So 10,000, 10 lakhs. So 10 lakhs endpoints are there. So including all over the worldwide, because even SBI branches are there even in the other countries as well for NRA candidates. Okay. For non-resident Indians also, they will use these SBI banks. Okay. So to deposit or something like that. So example, 10,000 endpoints are there. These endpoints contains, so all these, either laptop or MacBook or workstation or desktop or servers. Okay. So example, laptop count is so 5 lakhs are belongs to anyway. Actually, SBI Bank is not providing laptop. You know already, they are providing only desktop or workstation. Desktop, most of the cases. So laptop 0. So next one is desktop. So I will provide 5 lakhs. Workstations, maybe 2 lakhs. Windows servers, maybe example 2 lakhs. Linux servers, maybe 1 lakh. Altogether, how much? 10 lakhs. So these many endpoints are there. Now for SBI Bank, we have to implement antivirus or EDR solution. They don't have any solution, or maybe they want to migrate from the existing antivirus or EDR solution to new antivirus or EDR solution. There are two possible options here. So example, you are starting up a company, startup company example. So that time obviously it's like a greenfield site. What do you mean greenfield site? Basically, greenfield site meaning here there are no solutions at all. Only site is available, building is available, but everything we have to implement. We have to implement data center, we have to implement servers, we have to implement load balancers, we have to implement routers, switches, okay, all the desk infrastructure, everything. That is called greenfield site. For greenfield site, if you want to implement something, so obviously first we have to purchase the how many counts of the endpoints we have. Okay, example, already, okay, this is not a greenfield site. It is not a startup company. You are not deploying or you are not establishing a company. Already existing company, they are using example Kaspersky, one of the antivirus solution. If they want to migrate from Kaspersky to CrowdStrike, CrowdStrike is one of the antivirus tool. Okay, so these are the two possible options. One is migrating from the existing solution to new solution. Second option is completely new solution. New solution implementation, we can call it as a greenfield site. migrated solution, we can call it migrating of something solution. That's all. Existing to new. So example, maybe right now SBI Bank, they are using Trend Micro. From Trend Micro to they want to migrate to CrowdStrike. Right now, CrowdStrike and Microsoft Defender is leading EDR tool in the market. Not in these two, we have Sophos EDR is there. We have Carbon Block, Silence. So many tools are available in the market. So example, right now, SBI Bank of Mumbai, all over the worldwide, they have Trend Micro. From Trend Micro doesn't have the popular capabilities, and it will not it doesn't support so advanced features. So that's why they want to migrate from Trend Micro to CrowdStrike. In that scenario, so already they confirmed they want to migrate to CrowdStrike. So how many licensing? So in the corporate IT or software industry or BPO industry or healthcare industry, whatever industry, even electrical or mechanical or civil or industrial control system and so on. So what is mean by licensing? Licensing is nothing but cost, how much cost it should be. And also that licensing based on what parameters. Okay, when I say licensing, how much cost and what is the parameters they will consider when you want to purchase a license. Okay, so now in this scenario, how many endpoints are there? Obviously 10 lakhs endpoints are there. For all those 10 endpoints, we have to implement the antivirus or EDR solution. So what is licensing option for antivirus and EDR? Licensing for antivirus or EDR solution based on how many number of endpoints are there. In this scenario, whatever practical I'm explaining, how many endpoints it is required for SBI Bank? 10 lakhs.
10 lakhs.
Yeah. So total count of this is 10 lakhs. So based on this licensing, for each and every, see, you can see here, there are multiple operating systems. You should be aware of the operating system also in computer knowledge. So laptop is belongs to example, Microsoft OS. So desktop is belongs to example, Microsoft OS. Workstation also belongs to Microsoft related OS. Windows also Microsoft. Linux is belongs to Linux OS. Okay, not so for Linux is different operating system or firmware. Windows has a different operating system. So here Linux. So if you are downloading the Linux agent or software and you are installing Windows, it will not work out. If you are downloading the Windows related OS and you are installing the Linux server, it will not work out. Okay. So what is meant by that one, I'll explain later. So based on how many number of endpoints are there. In this scenario, Microsoft related, how many we have? 9 lakhs. All these are Microsoft related operating systems, 9 lakhs we have. Linux is 1 lakh. Altogether 10 lakhs. So consider each and every licensing cost is $5. So now 10 lakhs into $5. How much? 50 lakhs USD dollars. That means for implementing antivirus and EDR solutions in SBI Bank, how much it is required? 50 lakhs USD dollars. 50 lakhs into, once again, 70 rupees or 75 or 82 rupees. That will come approximate 4 crores. If this project is getting by TCS company or Infosys company or Wipro or Accenture or Accenture or Emphasis or Capgemini or Mindtree and so on, so they will recruit couple of endpoint related security analyst people. Approximately they will recruit maybe 5 to 10 people. But how much profit they are getting? 4 crores for 1 year, example. Okay. For 5 security analysts, how much they will pay per annum? Maybe 1 crore. Remaining 3 crores is profit to TCS. That is the way how these projects will work, how much business they will do. Okay. This is one of the general example I'm giving. Simple example. Okay. Now coming back. So here design or implementation or deployment. Design or implementations or deployment. Before our class has been started, what I have done, I went to draw.io and also I have drawn one of the diagram. So that diagram, I'll share it now. So design or implementation or deployment of antivirus and EDR solution will follow client and server based approach. Client and server based approach. What is in the client and server based approach? You can see here, this is what I said before our class has been started. So I was drawing this diagram. So I will increase the size. I will put maybe 90. Yeah. Is it visible, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
perfect. Thank you so much for the confirmation. Yeah, you can see here antivirus EDR is server. This is also called as a tool. So this is also called as a tool. Okay. So when I say tool, it's like a facebook.com or google.com or twitter.com or maybe tcs.com or infosys.com. It's like a graphical user interface. It's a graphical user interface. Okay. So now coming back, this is a tool, antivirus EDR tool, or maybe server also we can say. All these are example SBI Bank of laptop or MacBook or workstation or desktop or servers, but maybe belongs to Windows or Linux and so on. Those machines are located not only in a single location, all over the worldwide, like a distributed, or maybe single location also, anything is fine. Now we can see this is laptop, this is MacBook, this is workstation, this is desktop, this is Linux server. Each and every laptop, obviously laptop or MacBook or workstation desktop, who will use? Employee will use. For every employee machine, we have to install piece of software. What is piece of software? We can call it as anyone.
Agent.
Yeah, that's perfect. It's an agent. Piece of software, we can call it as agent. Who will provide the agent? Which type of agent we have to install in every end user machine? Antivirus or EDR agent we have to install. So this one you can see inside of the laptop, inside of the MacBook, inside of the workstation, desktop, and also Linux server. So one of the small diagram I have written or I have drawn, that one will represent agent. It's a piece of software. So that software in this scenario, antivirus or EDR agent. So every machine or every endpoint or every host machine, we have to install the antivirus or EDR agent. So when you want to install antivirus EDR agent, every vendor, they are supporting their own protocol as well as port number. Why we have to open the port number, guys? Why we have to open the port number? If you don't open the port number in between our laptop to the server, what will happen? Anyone? In case, example, this agent, if you want to install in this agent, we have to open the port. Why we have to open the port? Anyone?
Yeah, without opening the port, they cannot communicate
That's
with the server.
perfect answer. Excellent answer. Without providing the or opening the port or protocol, it will not communicate. What the importance of ports and protocols? Protocols in the rules and regulations. It will identify what is the service it is running on. Port is a physical port. It will provide the, so which type of port number we have to open. That is what definition, right? What a theoretical we discussed, we have to apply or map whenever we are discussing some other topics. It's a correlation. If you don't open the port, obviously, whenever any abnormal or malicious or suspicious activity is happening in all these endpoints related to malware category of the attacks, it will not communicate to the antivirus EDR server. If you don't communicate, what will happen? All the systems will get compromised. That's why we have to open the port. Vendor to vendor or tool to tool, this port number maybe will different. But most of the vendor, they will say you can install 443 port number. So that's why I say given 443 port number. So we have to install this antivirus agent or EDR agent and all these endpoints, and also we have to open the port. Then this agent will communicate 24/7 into 365 days. Whenever any abnormal or malicious or suspicious activity is happening on all these endpoints or laptop or MacBook or workstation, desktop and servers, this agent will communicate to the antivirus EDR tool. Then alerts should be generated. That is called deployment or implementation or design. Client and server based approach. What is the client and server based approach? Each and every client machine or host machine or employee machine, we have to install the antivirus or EDR agent. That antivirus or EDR agent will communicate to the antivirus EDR tool. Whenever these abnormal activity of the malware category of the attacks, it will happen. So automatically in the antivirus EDR tool, alerts will be generated. That is the backend concept. Any doubts so far? All these things you have to explain whenever you are going for the endpoint security interview. Okay, so already I provided, I'm not sure how many people are going through this particular material, whatever I provided. You can see here roles and responsibilities. So when you go to roles and responsibilities, so EDR, you can see here EDR roles and responsibilities I provided already. Now, whatever solution I'm providing or implementation we are providing, so you should understand about these concepts. Now you have to go and you have to correlate. After joining in a company, what is your roles and responsibilities you have to do for endpoint protection or endpoint security? This is the first, obviously, walk me through your resume or explain about the roles and responsibilities. That's the first question they will ask in the interview. Are you getting what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So that's all for today, guys. Okay. So tomorrow morning, I'll explain with fresh mind. Okay. So tomorrow morning, once again, I will start with endpoint protection. Okay. So tomorrow I will complete endpoint protection as I said. So tomorrow morning, I will take class around 8 o'clock. So please complete your breakfast before 8 o'clock. Then come and attend these classes. So from now onwards, all these classes, whatever we are discussing, it's a very, very, very important. Okay. So each and every sentence, whatever I am speaking in the class, everything is entire question. Okay. So couple of people, they asked me, 2009 I passed out, 2010 I passed out, 2012 I passed out in the demo class whenever I given. So basically for those people, you should understand about these things as well. What is design, what is implementation, what is operational support also. Then only you are able to crack the interviews. Otherwise it is difficult to crack the interviews. Okay. So that's all for today evening, guys. Tomorrow morning class will be there at 8 o'clock. 8 to 10 o'clock, I will take the endpoint protection or endpoint security. And 10 to 11 is a break. From 11 to 1 o'clock, interviews, mock interviews. So do you have any queries or questions or comments? Yeah, coming back from the mock interview point of view, till today evening, whatever we discussed, up to you have to prepare. That's okay, not an issue. Doesn't matter whether you're saying the answers or not. You can calculate yourself. So whether you are there up to date or whether you are lagging. Okay, so these mock interviews are really will help when you're attending the practical interviews. Okay, so many people are skipping these interviews. They will say, so immediately I have to travel somewhere else. Even after scheduling the interview also. Okay, couple of people, they given their names. Do you think that everybody will attend the interview tomorrow? I don't think so. With the practice, I mean, with the prior experience, I am saying all these. With the previous experience, I am saying. We used to schedule a call or interviews. Finally, they will not attend the interviews. They will say immediately, so I'm traveling here, so I'm going there. I have some immediate work is there and so on. It's a genuine work, that's fine. If it's genuine reason, that's well and good. But don't cheat yourself. Be honest always, according to situation. Okay, that's all today evening, guys. Tomorrow morning we'll continue at 8 o'clock. Thank you so much for joining the class. Good night and sweet dreams.
Good night, sir.
Good night.